So this is Mount Beauty in Victoria. It's quite beautiful. Notice we don't have sunglasses on. I used to wear sunglasses because my grandmother told me that if I didn't, I'd get wrinkles. So she never wore sunglasses. So from a very young age I did, till I find out about the benefits of actually having some light in your eyes.
Dr. Huberman, or Professor Huberman, speaks of that a lot. About that actually having UV rays, obviously not looking directly into the sun, but having UV rays come in contact with your retina actually helps your circadian clock. Seeing it in the morning sets off the timer in your brain.
I'm awake now.
And the countdown until you get sleepy is started.
And when you start watching the sunset, which is like, I've been doing that for about a year now, and I sleep so much better now that I'm looking at the sunrise and sunset, and I'm quite okay with having a few wrinkles. Approaching 45, I'm okay with it.
Hopefully you catch up to how many wrinkles I have one day.
That's right.
But the importance of eye health as well. When I met Jade, she told me that she had macular degeneration, which she had been told that she had macular degeneration, and she wore sunglasses all of the time, and it was to the point that she couldn't go outside even on a subtle day because the light was too great for her eyes. And when we learned about this stuff from Professor Huberman, and as well as Professor Matthew Walker, who's done a lot of work on sleep.
What was that book called?
Why We Sleep by Dr. Matthew Walker. I think he's at Stanford University. Anyway, a lot of data actually on the UV light and the eyes and the health of the eyes and the circadian rhythm. But Jade just went and got her eyes checked the other day. The last time she got her eyes checked was 5 years ago. And the optometrist couldn't believe that
at my age, at your
44-year-old woman, her eyes have not degenerated from her previous test 5 years ago. In fact, her eyes are actually a bit better.
But this, I was going to say something bad about the optometrist there. She wanted to give me a new pair of glasses that are the faded bifocal ones. And I said, well, they're not, why are you giving those to me? When I look across my desk at my clients, they'll be blurry. I said, just give me the same prescription. But she didn't want to because at my age, my eyes are getting worse. She was quite...
But they're not, but then she was confused because they weren't worse.
They weren't worse. And she said, what do you do? And I said, I don't wear sunglasses anymore. It's actually improved my eyesight quite a lot. Or I wear the dorky blue light ones
blue light blocking at night to avoid eye strain.
Then also we've got internet set to turn off at night, so I'm not on my screen very late at night. Don't watch TV. Or if we do, we've got a projector. If we're going to watch something, we'll project it off the wall, so the light's a lot better.
So you're not looking at the light, you're looking at a wall that's got light shone onto the wall, not into our eyeballs.
Yeah, makes a difference.
Makes a big difference.
But you know, the life happens, things happen. A few weeks ago, we were down the coast, and we're like, oh, we went to this place and got this gluten-free carrot cake in Anglesea. We always remember how nice it was. So we went to have it. Gluten-free doesn't mean healthy. Gluten-free still has sugar in it. But we had this cake, and it was like, probably.
It wasn't as nice as I remember it.
Probably wouldn't have it again. But as soon as I had that, my eyes were stinging. It was a nice day, similar to today. But we walked out of the cafe, and I'm like, I feel like I need to put a hat or sunnies on because my eyes were stinging.
We were both like struggling with the sun light. It was a similar day to this. It was cold, brisk, but sunny, beautiful.
Like a bluebird day.
Bluebird, beautiful winter's day.
So how funny is that?
Yeah.
You think,
oh, I need sunglasses. No, you need to not eat the sugar.
It was quite,
pretty immediate for both of us as well. And
so, gee, do your eyes hurt after that cake?
I'm like,
I was
yeah.
like,
And we're both
actually.
like, oh, because we didn't have our sunnies.
And because we don't have a lot of refined sugars at all in our diet, it was interesting as well. It was like probably an hour and a half later, I'm just like, ooh, I feel like I could have something sweet again.
We're looking for the bump, the next bump.
The next bump. And so we talk about this a lot with our clients about sugar bumps and the effects of sugar. So if you go without it for a while and then you have it, and then you'll notice things like that. It's like, oh, why do I always want to put my sunnies on? Because my eyes are sensitive because I've got a junky sort of a diet. So all of these things are relative, I guess, is what we're coming back to. And
pay attention to how your body responds to foods.
yeah,
Does it mean that you're always going to avoid sugar? No. But
when you're aware
when
of
you're
it,
aware of it, it helps you to make decisions when you would otherwise just absent-mindedly eat it. For example, today we are in Mount Beauty with my 8-year-old nephew.
8, he's not 8, he's
8-month-old.
months.
8-month-old.
Pretty small for 8.
He's tiny for 8. He's 8 months old. He's very long for 8 months. He's got the what height. Anyway, point being, I didn't get to follow my usual food schedule in the morning. I usually have breakfast and then I have second breakfast around 9 or 10. He was napping, so I couldn't have second breakfast. We went for a walk instead. Ended up down the street just before lunchtime and I was starving hungry. We decided I was getting shitty.
She was shitty. I looked over at her.
I don't
Her
get shitty,
lip-
I get useless.
Her lip was dragging down here somewhere.
We went to the cafe to get a coffee and of course I start seeking out if they've got a gluten-free treat because I'm feeling low on energy and I wanted energy, and the response was we have a passion fruit slice, and passion
And I was
fruit.
like, hard no.
Passion fruit's always full of sugar. Coming from the ex-pastry chef, you always have a lot of sugar in passion fruit
fruits are
things.
generally sweet anyway, but
There's always a lot of sugar in it. Anyway, that helped me to make the decision not to have it because I knew it would give me a spike and then I would plummet and I'd be even worse state of hangry within the next hour after that. So it helped me make a decision to not have it and just to work off of my energy reserves for a little bit longer until I could go back for lunch on the food that we had brought with us.
that's right.
Because, you know, everybody with a little baby can always help if you make some meals for them. So we pre-made a roast lamb. We Jade.
I was like, we. Sure, it was we.
I said it was a great idea.
Yep.
Lamb stew. We bought some sausages, a box of chopped up slaw, and it just helps. And they're so grateful because they've got a young baby, and you know how hard it is to get these things, food prepared and organised. And so that's what we do. That's how we show love to our families and to those people with us, is help them have good food when they're, you know, under the pump with little freshies, little fresh babies.
What was funny in the morning though, because we would have completely different breakfasts. I have some sort of meat soup, usually meat and vegetable soup in the morning. I still had that, but I was like, I don't know what the schedule's like, so I had a little bit more than usual. So normally I'm the hangry one, and
I had my same usual breakfast because I thought I'd have a
but
second
only
breakfast.
one.
Yeah, but I didn't have the second breakfast that I normally have because my digestive system is smaller and weaker. I do best with small meals. I had my small meal and I needed my next small meal and it wasn't there.
So often when we find that mood change,
Yeah.
and you're like, and you get fed up and you get irritable and all these things start happening, you will just go and grab the first thing that you can get
Yep.
your hands on, which is usually junk. And I can get junk 24 hours a day if I wanted to,
Yep.
but then that makes you feel like junk. So it's about being prepared for hunger, really.
Yeah. But,
People are like,
but
I
also,
can't food prep. I can't food prep, Jade. It's too hard. It's like, well, what's harder, being
what's
a
harder
grumpy
is being an
bitch?
emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
But we went home, we had the slaw that was ready for us with the pre-roasted veggies and our delicious sausage from Otway Prime Meats. They're delicious. And
That would be
amazing.
when we would have, if we were like famous, we'd be like, Otway Prime.
Get your Otway Prime here.
Prime.
They don't even have a Facebook page. There's no
Otway
point in me
Prime.
plugging them.
It's a pretty nice meat though.
But man, they're really lovely. But South Geelong farmers markets, if anyone's in that area, see Lisa at Otway Prime, just because she's awesome. But yeah, we had our sausages, preservative free, grass fed, farmed just up the road in Pennyroyal from where we live. And happy days. Hanger's gone, and it's taking the time or giving yourself that moment to self-reflect and go, hang on a minute, am I going absent-mindedly reaching for fast energy? I need to acknowledge that I just need to eat something. We made that conscious. We knew what was happening. It's not like that, oh my God, I'm angry and I'm frustrated and I'm going to take it out on everybody around me. It's
And
like,
you know, that's how I used to live. That's how I lived constantly. So it would be like, go about my day.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would look at
and everyone else is the moron.
everyone else
Yeah.
would just piss me off, like by looking at me, pretty much. So I lived like that for years. And then what I would do, especially if I was on holiday, because I'd be running around
Yeah.
trying to make the most of where I was, I'd get to the point where I was so shitty, then I'd go and get drunk.
Yeah. You know what'll sort that out is a
Sort
beer.
that out. I need beer or 10
To calm my nerves,
to
because
calm my
everyone
nerves,
is morons.
because everyone's a moron. So then I'd go and get drunk, and when you get yourself into that state, you're a cheap date. So I'd get so drunk, and then I would just eat crap, and so it went on and on and on. And so when I talk to people, when I talk to my clients, and I hear this pattern on them, I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We were
And they're
that
like-
once.
And they're like, oh, but you can't be because you're so healthy and you're so good. It's like, wow. That's what
Man.
that's what these things are about. These things are about.
These chats are for you guys to realise that we're not perfect. We didn't come out of the womb this way.
But we have come from lived experiences of like.
I used to be an off my face on caffeine barista, and then after that I was a bartender who was always sampling the cocktails. Don't tell my previous bosses, no. You know, we're both hospitality. You think that we haven't lived this? We understand. That's how we can identify it when you're...
Yes.
I used to use the word phrases that I needed bread. You know what? That's an addict speaking. That was addict speaking, because
Or I don't
actually...
have time to eat, so you'll have something like a.
Yeah. But there is
Big
an
M.
actual thing now, having then later in life studied nutrition and naturopathy and natural medicine. There is such a thing as called allergy addiction. People, dairy as well, when you eat things that don't go well with you, it
I love ice
actually
cream.
releases opioid-like substances. It gets you a little bit high that you've just eaten something that goes so against your system.
Yeah.
So I know it seems like unbelievable, but yeah, it is kind of unbelievable. Why would you do that? Every time you get you end up... I actually worked with a chick, and she was lactose intolerant, but she thought that she wasn't living life because she was deprived of ice cream, and so she would make the conscious decision to have the ice cream and then be on the toilet for the next half a day. Like, why are you doing that? There's no other explanation other than allergy addiction. She was addicted to that rush that it gave her.
Well,
to consume it.
That's a whole nother chat we could have about allergies and intolerances and that sort of thing. Because I often hear, but I'm not a celiac, so it's okay.
Oh,
I'm not a celiac either, but I don't know.
I'm
If
still
I could
asleep
be-
20 minutes after eating
If
it.
I could be bothered to show you what happened, I would eat a sandwich and you could just watch it happen. It's not nice, but I'm not technically a celiac. So there's a whole raft of understanding about yourself and food and things. And if you are still going out, reaching for that big M because you feel like you need energy or that... I saw these things
But I
in
need it.
Apco the other day,
Oh,
and they had
first ingredient. Sugar.
Second ingredient, glucose, and it had a preservative in that I must look up because I have
was it
never.
a H?
It was an H number, not an
Yeah.
E number. It was H. Oh, it was like it looked like an ice
5227.
cream sandwich thing, but it was ambient, so it looked like an ice cream sandwich with sprinkles on it. It had about 8 different colours in it,
And sugar and glucose.
and they were on sale in the trough in Epco, and I was like, oh man, that's a horror in a freckle bit of plastic.
Horror in a pretty little packet. Anyway, I think we've gone off track.
We've gone on many tracks there.
The point I think we're trying to make is,
Do we ever make a point? No,
but you need to reflect. Like, give yourself the time. When you're making changes when you're making decisions to be in a healthier state than you were before, you actually have to provide yourself a little bit of extra time to reflect on, hang on, that auto thing that I was just about to do, is that really what I want to do, and is it really giving me what I want in the big picture? And then,
What do you mean auto thing?
like me today, asking if they had any gluten-free
Yeah.
treats, and the passion fruit, I was halfway to saying yes.
I said no.
When Jade said no, and that like made me snap out of it and go, oh, actually, I don't
No,
want
you
that.
won't.
I'm going to be in an even bigger sugar crash after that. What I need to do is just go home and have the food that I've prepared, because I need to do these videos to talk to people and not have big black rings around my eyes and look like I'm withdrawing from sugar. So it's providing yourself that little bit of time to reflect on those auto decisions that are like, oh, but I need X, Y, or Z. What's calling you to say you need it?
But you'll always get some feedback. Like,
You'll
for
get feedback
example,
from your body.
The gluten-free cake we had, my eyes are stinging because of the sugar.
Okay, we figured out the point we were trying to make. That's good. Hope you guys figured out the point too.
Listen to your body,
Listen to your body and give yourself time.
and don't think that we are.
Time to make decisions, not like time before you actually take action and make choices for your health. Start that right now. But give yourself the time when you're in that knee-jerk decision-making process to go, oh, wait a minute. Is that really the decision that I want to make for my goals, for how I want to be?
Does that pack of freckly
Horror in the service
rubbish
station really going to help me with what I want?
Is it Jade and Larissa approved?
Yeah.
No.
Stamped with Healthy Society.
Doubt it.
Yeah.
Highly doubt it.
Yeah. Give yourself a pause, even if it has to be that you're seeing Jade and, would Jade give this a stamp of approval? If that gives you the break that you need to just reflect on your decision, then use her, use us.
Hard no. That passion fruit thing was hard no.
Yeah. No.
Walk away.
Walk away, back away, slowly, take the black coffee, and we're out.
Yep. All right.
So, hope you enjoyed our Parkside Chat, not in the car today.
No.
And we'll see you again.
Now we're going to go home and cook everyone dinner.